Dude, just getting that close. Oh my gosh.
Holy shit.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the YouTube channel. My name is Cam, this is Zay, and we are here watching Game of Thrones Season 6, Episode 5, The Door. Before we get into this one, if you guys like what you're watching, make sure you leave a like down below, subscribe to stay tuned for more. You can also hit that bell notification button to be notified the next time we upload a new video. And if you want to watch our full-length reaction to this and the next 6 episodes, you can check all that out on Patreon. The link for that will be in the description. With that being said, Zay, what do you remember previously?
Last time we got to watch this, we got a little heartwarming moment. We finally saw Sansa meet up with Jon. I was 99% sure we weren't going to actually see them link up. That heartwarming moment got thrashed with a letter from Ramsay telling them that he has Rickon and basically Jon needs to send Sansa back, otherwise face the consequences. To put it in lighter terms than what he put it in, because he wrote some raunchy stuff. We also, Dario and Jorah ended up getting to
he was also
Dany.
basically saying, like, come at me. That's pretty much.
Oh yeah, it was a it was a direct
Ramsay
challenge and threat, basically.
Yeah.
Like, come and see what happens. So Dario and Jorah ended up linking with Dany, to which, they tried to help her escape immediately, but she said she had a plan. And that plan, that was a fire plan, no pun intended. She ended up going to her trial with all the calls, and she burned them all alive inside. Dario and Jorah actually sealed the door off from the outside so they couldn't escape. When, the flames rose, killed all the calls inside, she walked out, and we saw the whole encampment from the sacred city of Dothraki just bow to her.
Yeah.
So looks like she has a very large force behind her now, even larger than she's had before, which makes up for all the Unsullied she's been losing. In Marine, which, speaking of Marine, we got to see a meeting between Slaver's Bay, Astapor, Yunkai, the Masters, I should say, and Tyrion, along with Grey Worm and Missandei.
Yeah.
Tyrion, basically said, instead, what we're going to do, we're giving you this offer, which is, to allow you to get accustomed to not using slavery. So you have 7 years to get rid of it. Missandei and Grey Worm weren't too fond of it, but Tyrion said, I'm trying to end, you want me to end war, you want me to end slavery, but I can't do them at the same time. So this is our best option for right now. And so I guess we're going to see where we pick up with that. And then one last thing I guess I wanted to touch real quick is Jaime and Cersei now have a plan to get rid of the High Sparrow and the Faith. They're sick and tired of them inside the city, so they're plotting to remove them once and for all. And is there anything else you want to bring up quick, Cam, before we get into it?
That's a good little recap. With that being said, let's get into the episode.
Sansa. Lady Brienne.
Did she always mean mugs?
You have no idea how happy I am to see you unharmed.
Unharmed?
Oh.
Did you know about Ramsay? If you didn't know, you're an idiot. If you did know, you're my enemy. He never hurt my face. He needed my face, the face of Ned Stark's daughter.
Yo, she's...
She's big mad.
He did what he liked with the rest of me, as long as I could still give him an heir. What do you think he did?
Don't answer that question. It's not a literal question.
I can't begin to contemplate.
What do you think he did to me?
Oh, I guess it is a literal question. Never mind.
Did he cut you?
Maybe you did know about Ramsay all along.
I didn't know.
I thought we knew everyone's secrets.
I made a mistake. A horrible mistake. I underestimated a stranger.
Mm-hmm.
You said you would protect me.
And I will.
You won't even be able to protect yourself if I tell Brienne to cut you down.
Whew. Yo, talk your shit.
My brother and I will take back the North on our own. I never want to see you again.
I would do anything to undo what's been done to you.
She doesn't care, bro. I promise you.
I know that I can't.
Take the L, bro.
Will you allow me to say one more thing before I go?
Get rolled, nerd, and fucking walks out.
Your great uncle, Brendan, the Blackfish, has gathered what remains of the Tully forces and retaken River Run. You might consider seeking him out. The time may come when you need an army loyal to you.
I have an army.
Your brother's army. Half-brother.
Oy.
Yeah. Your ass. Come on, Ari. Get revenge for all that ass whooping you took. Oh! Never mind. Well.
You're not ready. You should go home before it's too late.
Dude. Oh, she would piss me off.
Oh!
Okay. She said, bitch. She turned back around like...
times I've almost fucking dislocated a vertebrae trying to do that shit, bro.
Dude, one time I like landed like flat on my feet, but I couldn't get above parallel. I just landed. You just go back. You're like, oh. Oh. Just lay the paws down. Fucking world star.
You'll never be one of us, Lady Stark.
Put the paws on her.
She has a point.
Oh, yo. It's the last thing you'd want to hear after getting your ass kicked.
Yeah.
Mulder right.
Who?
An actress who calls herself Lady Crane. She performs at the theater in Silver Square.
Okay.
A girl has been given a second chance. There will not be a third.
Yeah, facts, yo. Don't fuck this one up.
I love you, Father. Please don't die.
Shut up, you swine, Cersei! Ned Stark will do fine. Now bring me more wine.
Oh, nah.
Oh, I am about to go!
Bro, farts are funny no matter the... no matter the time period.
Move along, give me my chair, and there won't be no more trouble. But we had a deal, all done and dusted. I'm starting to think you can't be trusted.
Dude, could you imagine?
Imagine your
like
father
seeing like
got...
someone you love that got killed, and they're making a mockery out of him.
Save him, please!
Show him mercy. Show the people what a good king should be.
You may all relax. My father's friend shall be spared this.
Bro. God.
The girl will poison the rum. Lady Crane is the only one who drinks it. She seems like a decent woman.
Does death only come for the wicked and leave the decent behind?
No.
Yeah, that's rough. Look, hey, if you want to be an assassin,
Who wants her dead?
That does not matter. The price was paid.
you gotta kill whoever. You gotta take
The
the
younger
good with the
actress.
bad, you know?
Mm-hmm.
She's jealous because Lady Crane is better.
A girl must decide if she wants to serve the many-faced god.
A girl has decided.
A servant does not ask questions.
You getting on his nerves, dog. You better just chill.
That's the rough part. She's like, oh, I'm gonna do all this and learn how to fight and be a badass. And then it's like, oh, we need you to kill this woman who there's not really anything wrong with her. That's just who needs to die today. It's like, whoa, what?
Well, why? And it's like, servant doesn't ask questions. If you want to serve him, you serve.
That's gotta be like one of the first men, because you know the first men and the children were together.
Yeah. Bro, I would have been like, don't wake me up. let me see what the fuck was what was going on there, dog.
You made the White Walkers.
We were at war. We were being slaughtered. Our sacred trees cut down. We needed to defend ourselves.
From whom?
From you. From men.
That's crazy.
How'd that go?
Now look at us.
I claim the Salt Throne.
We've never had a queen. Not once.
There are many things we've never done.
A woman will not lead us. Not when Balon's own male heir has returned.
Oh, he doesn't even want to be. He's like, not me, ignore me.
I am Theon Greyjoy, last living son of Balon Greyjoy, and she is your rightful ruler.
No shit.
Those of you that have sailed under her, and there are many of you here, you know what she is.
Okay.
We will find no better leader.
Nice.
This is our queen.
Where's Unc at? Where's Balon's brother at? I know he gonna fuck. Is he gonna fuck this whole thing up?
I'm Euron Greyjoy.
There it is. You motherfucker.
I claim the Salt Throne.
Fucking knew it.
Now I know what my first act as queen will be. To execute the man who killed my father.
Oh.
I did.
Oh.
I killed him.
What?
Threw him right over a rope bridge and watched him fall.
An honest man.
Aye.
There is a person who hates the great lords of Westeros just as much as we do. Someone with a large army, 3 large dragons, and no husband.
I can assure you she won't marry you, buddy.
You're going to seduce the Dragon Queen.
I'm not going to seduce her. The Iron Fleet will seduce her. And together we're going to take the 7 kingdoms.
I mean, all of our ships did get burned.
That's true. Problem is that he like all these guys love to talk about Daenerys, like, yeah, I'm gonna go over there and give her the schmeat, and then they see Jorah and Dario and Grey Worm, and it's like, I'd be careful with talking like that, because they will kill you instantly.
You don't even really need any of those folks. You just
You
have
don't, because
Drogon
she has 3.
pull up.
Yeah, you have Drogon that's ready to bite your fucking head off.
Let the old Euron drown. Let his lungs fill with seawater. Let the fish eat the scales off his eyes. What is dead may never die. But rises again harder and stronger.
That's so wild. That's
oh my
their
god,
initiation.
we killed him. Oh my god, we killed him.
You never know.
Like, literally, that's a... Not everyone can hold their breath as long as other people.
Dude, that's gotta suck, bro. I've gotten salt water in my mouth from, like, a wave crashing before. Dude.
Imagine having it in your lungs, like, and you're fucking... We're like, oh my god.
Where are my niece and nephew?
So they booked it.
Let's go murder them.
Looks like it.
They booked it with some ships and everything. Yeah, because I think they knew, like, he's gonna probably kill us.
They stole our best ships.
Won't be enough to save them.
What?
Obviously.
Build me 1,000 ships.
Obviously,
and
some
I will
of
give you
the
this world.
Ironborn went with.
Yeah, you saw it when they were running out of the cave. There was a bunch of them with them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't pick that up.
They showed them like coming out of this under cave while he was getting initiated, and you saw people climbing. Because I was like, "What the fuck's happening?"
Oh, I must have missed that.
I can't take you back, and I can't send you away.
I was like, "He's grayscale."
You must send me away.
Just fucking snitches on him. Don't touch him.
Oh,
it's spreading too. Crazy.
Is there a cure?
I don't know. I've seen what happens when it goes far enough. I'll end things before that.
Damn.
I love you.
Oh, wow.
Goodbye, Khaleesi.
I think it's like more than like a romantic way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Well, I command you to find the cure. Wherever it is in this world. I command you to heal yourself. And then return to me.
Wow. What an emotional scene.
When I take the 7 kingdoms, I need you by my side.
ooh,
That's awesome.
that's a big task.
Yeah. Big task. That was really satisfying though, for like to see for Jorah.
Yeah, it kind of like you finally get to see this. I mean, we got to see a connection with them a little bit when the Sons of the Harpy attacked, but like that bond we saw them build from the beginning, it's like we're really seeing it, like the blossom of it at this point.
Yeah.
How many killings have been carried out by the Sons of the Harpy?
None.
So it's safe to say that a fragile peace has taken hold.
For now.
We need someone the people trust. Someone they know cannot be bought or influenced.
Sounds like quite the hero. Where will we find him?
Who said anything about him? We'd hope that we could somehow persuade you to...
You don't need to persuade me. I came to help. Daenerys Stormborn is the one who was promised. From the fire she was reborn to remake the world.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Very.
Stannis Baratheon was anointed as the chosen one by one of your priestesses.
Oh, perfect.
He too had a glorious destiny. He attacked King's Landing and was soundly defeated by the man standing beside me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Defeated again, this time at Winterfell, and this time for good.
Glad someone brought this up.
Why should I trust you to know any more than the priestess who counseled Stannis?
My friend has a healthy skepticism of religion. But we are all loyal supporters of the Queen.
He's
like, yo, who gives a shit if her shit's real or not or whatever? Like, have her, like, let her do her thing. Let Dany come out looking good.
Terrible things happen for a reason. Take what happened to you, Lord Varys, when you were a child. Knowledge has made you powerful. But there's still so much you don't know.
Yo, they always drop these bombs, bro.
When the sorcerer tossed your parts in the fire.
Bro, good God.
You heard a voice call out from the flames. Do you remember?
Nah, don't influence his memory like this. Don't do that. I hate when people do shit like that.
Should I tell you the name of the one who spoke?
His face, bro.
We serve the same queen. If you are her true friend, you have nothing to fear from me.
Yo. Dude, someone farted. Someone farted.
No,
and said
no,
it all, bro.
He's shook.
Oh.
The cool sound.
That's a really cool sound.
This is the place.
Yeah. Now it's
it
winter.
all began.
Oh my God. Dude, I would be too creeped out.
Dude,
I'd be
even
too
if I
creeped
was,
out. I couldn't.
Like, even if I was just like in a vision or something and I wasn't like actually there, dude, just still walking through that has got to be terrifying.
Because just imagine, like, even if it didn't know you were there, if one of theirs like turned their heads towards you, I'd freak out.
Yeah.
I'd end up tripping and bumping into one too, and like waking it up and be like, some fucking ridiculous shit. 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Oh, nah, bro.
He saw me! The Night King! He saw me!
That's the Night King. I don't think they ever called him a
He
Night
knows
King
you're here.
until now.
Come
No, He didn't.
His mark is on you. You must leave, all of you.
I think that's the first time we heard Night King. But yeah, look.
Yeah.
He grabbed his wrist, like we saw, and it came through.
Yeah.
Time has come.
The time for what?
For you to become me.
I don't want to be in a tree.
Am I ready?
No.
Wonderful.
The North remembers. They remember the Stark name. People will still risk everything for it, from White Harbor to Ramsay's own door.
I don't doubt it. But John doesn't have the Stark name.
No, but I do.
Ooh. Touche.
John is every bit as much Ned Stark's son as Ramsay is Roose Bolton's.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
My uncle, the Blackfish, has reformed it and retaken River Run.
How'd you know that?
Ramsay received a raven before I escaped Winterfell.
You lying bitch.
You liar.
She's not actually a bitch, guys. I don't know if that got anybody heated. I'm just kidding.
He's my brother. He'll keep me safe. I trust him.
Then why did you lie to him when he asked you how you learned about River Run?
That's funny. Huh.
Well, now you no. We don't have any. We don't have any sugar.
Yeah. We don't have. Yeah, this cave isn't large enough.
Get Bran and run!
First off, y'all made them. Y'all should be able to talk. Can you talk to them, please?
Bran, wake up! Bran!
Hodor.
Oh, no. Relax. Don't scare the big guy.
Remember they had those little fireballs?
Forgot about those. Things are dope. He's gonna freeze that shit. He's gonna... Literally, that's so crazy. He's just like, come on now.
They said, wow, you didn't really put
Didn't
fire anywhere else here.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
And try to stay out of fights.
Yes, Father.
But if you have to fight, win.
That's some good advice.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Ooh!
Good shit.
Run! Wake up!
But wake the fuck up. Hodor, you need to fight. Hodor, you need to fight. My god.
You have to wake up! We need Hodor!
I think she's using
Run!
dragon glass.
Bran, you have to wake up! We
Here's
need
the thing.
Hodor!
If he wakes up, what's he gonna do? I mean, I guess he could turn to Hodor.
Listen to your friend, Brandon. Hodor.
Aw, shit. Game time.
Dude, that's wild.
The problem is that, what about these ones? They're a little harder. Yeah. Oh! Took one out. They didn't need to add all the Yelps. They could have added like the first one. We got the picture.
It's brutal.
The time has come. Leave me.
So he's still in the past. He's also in Hodor. And now the three-eyed raven is gone.
It's like a horror movie.
Go!
Wait, what are you gonna do though? How are you gonna do this? Oh, that's crazy.
Oh. Hey.
Keep going. Don't think it's sweet just because that explosion went off. Keep going.
Oh, no, hurry!
Oh, dude, just getting that close. Oh my gosh.
Holy shit.
Hold the door!
Oh, okay, thanks.
Hold the door!
He's like,
hold the door!
I
something's
got
happening
it.
to him in the past.
Yeah.
Hold the door!
Hold the door!
No.
That's fucking crazy.
That is.
Hold the door! 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 Hold the door!
Oh. I'm getting it now. Holy shit.
Hold on! Hold on! Hold on! Hold on!
That's crazy.
Hold on! Hold on!
Oh.
Hold on!
That's crazy.
All right. That was Game of Thrones season 6, episode 5. Yeah, let me just I wouldn't say I was crying. No, I'm just
Oh, okay.
something in my eye.
Your eyes just wet.
Yeah, they leak sometimes. Oh no, fucking yeah. That was Game of Thrones season 6, episode 5. The Door. If you guys like what you were watching, make sure you leave a like down below, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. And if you want to watch our full-length reaction to this and the next 6 episodes, you can check all that out on Patreon. The link for that will be in the description. Zay, what are your initial thoughts of the episode?
A lot to unpack with this episode, man.
Yeah.
I mean, geez, that ending was crazy. I can't wait for us to get into the Q&A portion of that, because that's kind of that whole thing with Bran that went down between the Night King and Hodor and everything was nuts. But yeah, that was wow. That was a really cool, really cool episode. I guess let's get into the Q&A and start unpacking this thing.
Yeah, let's do it. So first off, we have Sansa's little reunion with Baelish. And you know, she's really not having Baelish's shit. You know, she's not cool with what happened, and she said, "Look, you either knew who he was, and that makes you my enemy, or you didn't know who he was, and you were an idiot." And you know, basically, Sansa was like, you know, like, what is it? And you know, she had Brienne backing her up and stuff like that. But what's interesting is Baelish was basically saying, like, yeah, you've got your brother's army to back you up, but you know, he's really your half brother. So how much is the army really, you know, yours? Like, what are you going to do here? What are your thoughts about that whole situation? We know that we can also talk about Sansa and Jon. They're heading out to find more men to prepare for the whole situation with Ramsay. So what are your thoughts about that conversation with Baelish, and also, you know, what they're doing now to try to find more men for you know, for themselves and the war that may be coming with Ramsay?
I think I think in regards to them going to get those more men, I expected that they would go for the smaller houses. I think we kind of also alluded to that as we had found out about how the other the 3 bigger houses in the north were basically aligned with the Boltons already. So I agree with their. I mean, I don't know how well it's going to pan out, and how many men are they really going to achieve from going to these smaller towns. In regards to that conversation with Baelish, I don't like. I I get what he was kind of alluding to, like you just said, half brother. Like, yeah, remember, it's his army, and he's only your half brother. But it also, uh, is to me, it almost felt like, is he kind of trying to just take like a dig and like kind of get in her head a little bit because of the way? I mean, she basically said, "I don't ever want to see you again." Like, you're kind of almost like disowned him as like an uncle, and you know, after all the traumatizing shit she went through, it's like I feel like, yeah, that's it's her half brother, but to me, that's like, okay, what's your point? Because John and Sansa seem pretty tight, and I think that their visions are way too aligned for even if he's
It's
her half
certainly a
brother.
lot tighter than Sansa sees uh Peter, that's for sure, especially after
Yeah,
what he did,
so
you know.
it felt more like it was kind of like a last ditch effort dig, almost to kind of like put a seed in the back of her mind because he's a mind game. I mean, he plays mind games with people. Obviously, he plays games with everybody in the show. He's aligned with. Uh, if you ask several characters in the show, Peter's on their side. So, so what side is he
Right.
really on? So,
Right.
yeah, it felt more like kind of like a last ditch effort just to kind of put like maybe a little bit of doubt in her mind and make her have to start thinking. And um, I mean, I don't know. It and the thing is yeah, why did she lie? Then she lied to John. That's the other thing. Was what Peter said the reason that she lied? Did she feel some sort of like, is there like some doubt now in her mind or something along those lines? Because she did lie to him about how she found out completely
You're right.
about the
Right.
military.
Yeah, and
So
and speaking of the lies, Brienne addressed that. We don't really know
what?
exactly what Brienne is doing now. We assume she's listening to Sansa because she didn't go with Sansa. And
Mhm.
Sansa wants her to, go to Riverrun where the Blackfish is basically kind of holding up with his army. And what are your thoughts about that whole situation? Do you think Brienne is going to head there? How do you think that might turn out? Like, Brienne's not Sansa, so is the Blackfish going to listen to her? Do you remember the Blackfish? He was the one who is the father of the man who got married at the Red Wedding. So the
Yeah,
Blackfish.
I remember him vaguely. Like, I don't like
It's been a
face
while.
wise. It's yeah, hard for me to really put the
He was the
face. I
one that
do.
shot the arrow that actually hit the boat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Um, and one other thing real quick too with the half brother thing. Well, I mean, because it doesn't really apply in a total linear sense, but the last person that was like basically yeah, John's technically half family, but you have Theon who was basically family to them. Like, they raised him and we know what he did, so that's the other thing is that Baelish kind of saying that we've seen family, people that are supposed to be family, people that are supposed to be aligned, turn in a blink of an eye. So that's another thing that might be in the back of her mind. Like, when push comes to
Right.
shove,
I
will
also
John? I don't
wonder.
think he would, but
I wonder
you
how
know,
much of it was also like these men follow your half brother.
half
Like,
brother,
how much are they going to really care about you? Like,
right?
I think
Yeah,
that was maybe more of the angle he was getting at, but you very well could be right
that's
too.
I think that also is. I think there's I mean, you could take it from a bunch of different angles, but
But
yeah.
Brienne and River Run,
Yeah, I don't know how well that's gonna. I was kind of surprised that she was just gonna send Brienne herself to go, because it's like, you don't like, Brienne's not a Stark. Yet she could say that she's sworn to Sansa, but I don't know. I feel like negotiations like that work better when you have that person or like someone from that family actually there, um, in the flesh. Um, I guess we'll find out. I don't really know. Brienne went by herself, right? If she did go, she didn't bring anybody with her. Like, it seems like she went straight solo, like no
well,
back.
all we know is that she's been tasked to go. So,
Yeah, I mean, I
does
can't say
someone go
that those
with her?
I can't
Maybe,
say that
maybe
those
not.
negotiations will necessarily go smoothly, because like I said, I don't know. To me, usually when you see negotiations like that go down, you see the person that's trying to negotiate it there. They go and they give their point, and they, what I'm saying, instead you're tasking someone that most people are like, who are you? or like this is Brienne, but I
Yeah,
don't know.
we'll have to see. Next on the list, we have Arya. She has been doing some more training, and now
Yeah.
she has another mission, but this is not one she can fuck up. And she doesn't get any more chances after this. And she's tasked taking down this actress, and she went to saw the play, which was kind of brutal to watch her watch, but she kind of came across the idea that maybe this girl she's going after isn't all that bad, and she kind of guessed that one of the other actresses were seemed jealous or envious, and they probably were the one that
Yeah.
hired them. So Jaqen basically said it doesn't matter if they're good or bad. This is what we do. We kill for the many-faced God. This is what we were asked to do. What are your thoughts about that whole entire situation? Do you think that Arya is going to follow through with her mission? Do you think she's not going to follow through with her mission? What are your thoughts on that whole situation and how that might affect, the future of the show?
I think she will follow through with the mission. I mean, Jaqen didn't really give her much wiggle room. He said either way, if a face is going to be added to the hall. So if in her best interest, I would do it. You know, it was interesting because at the end of the day, I mean, the faceless men are, to put it in just the plainest sense, they're like assassins, like murder for hire, basically. So
Yeah, sure.
asking those questions, he had a point of being like, it's not we're getting paid to do this task. The task is being paid for. You don't ask questions, you do it. If you're gonna be if you're gonna follow the many-faced God, if you're gonna be if you're gonna be nobody, one of the faceless men, then that's your job. Is it doesn't matter who they are, it doesn't matter if they're a good person, what their morals are, wherever they come from. And this is what you were tasked to do. You got to carry it out. If she carries it out, maybe we'll start to see her get more missions. I'd already, like I had said before, I was expecting her to hopefully get another mission, one more chance, but I don't see any way around her. I don't see any way that she could get around doing the mission. She has to. It's basically, I think her life's basically on the line with this, because I think if she doesn't complete it, Jaqen's gonna be like, "Well, drink the water. You're drinking this water." So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm interested to see how does she freeze up? How does she do with this mission, or is she able just to pull it off and just kind of go in there, get it done?
Yeah, we'll have to see. Speaking of sea, let's move on into the whole Euron Greyjoy, Yara, and Theon situation. Basically, Yara was about to be, pronounced queen,
Yeah.
and Euron showed up just like you said he would, and he, basically said, "Nah, I'm here now," and he got people's favor. So
Yeah.
they anointed him king, and now he wants his niece and nephew. He said he was going to go to the Dragon Queen and give her his big old cock and seduce her with the Iron Fleet. She does. We did see her ships burn, so maybe there's something there. Maybe not. We also saw Theon and Yara escape with several other men on their ships. So what's your whole thought process about that entire situation there? Do you think he is going to make it to Daenerys? Do you think that that Yara and Theon he's going to end up capturing somehow? What are your thoughts about that whole situation and what might happen there?
Yeah, I mean, well, one obvious thing that with them stealing those ships, regardless if he's going to try to make it get over to Danny, they just delayed that process very much. I mean, he basically told everyone there, go to your homes, chop down trees. I want 1,000 ships. That's going to take some time to build. So they delayed his plans and they kind of undermined him just as he came into power. I think like I said, I think they knew that he was gonna either like imprison them or mistreat them, kill them, whatever the case was, if they stayed. So they're like, "Fuck it, let's get
Theon's
out of
like,
here."
we're not doing
Yeah,
this again.
Theon's like, I've already been through this ringer. Let's go, run it. We're out. I'm curious to see where they head. Are they gonna try to? Because I was like, are they gonna try to head to Danny first and maybe beat him there and be like, or like, I don't know. I was wondering where they were gonna head.
Yeah, that's a good question for me to ask.
Because
Where do you think
they have
they're
a
headed?
decent sized fleet, you know. One that kind of gives them a little bit of leverage. If they go to someone that would be in the need of a fleet, they could say, we can give you our men and ships in exchange for, XYZ assistance, maybe assistance taking back over, the Iron Islands from Euron, or usurping Euron from the throne, whatever the case may be with that. But the even even if Euron made it to Danny, my problem is that it's the way he's one of those guys, the way he carries himself, he's one of those guys that would come to Danny and be like, "Oh, I got a fleet and I'm a king, and so come on, let's get this shindig on the road." And she's more like, "I don't need you," because she's very independent as a ruler. She's like, a lot of people see her. She's like, oh, she's a queen. She's this, she's that, but they just see her as, hey, look at this platinum haired smoke show. I'm a I'm gonna give her my big meat and some ships, and she'll love me and we'll rule. So, he's not someone that I think she would align with. Even if he had a fleet to give her, I feel like she'd be like, I don't want your fleet. And in fact, or I'll take it from you instead. And now I have it. And I don't have to worry about you bothering me. But
Well, yeah,
yeah, he's
that's
got to
that's
rebuild it
interesting.
first. So I
Well,
guess we'll see.
yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out. Speaking of Danny, we had Tyrion and well, first we found out that no Sons of the Harpy attacks, no
Yeah.
master killings other than the day the pact
2
was
on the
made.
day.
But other than that, everything seems to be going smoothly. And so Tyrion's next step is like, we need to boast Danny up now, put her on a pedestal, get the
Yeah.
word out, things like that. And so they hired a red woman. And, there was a little interesting conversation between her and Varys. But, she said, as long as you're on Danny's side, you have nothing to worry about, because she obviously believes in Danny the way that the red woman believed in Stannis. So
Yeah.
what are your thoughts about that whole situation, how that might affect, the rest of the area, and how that might affect Danny's status going forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think Tyrion's definitely on the right track with the idea of trying to boast her up now, right? Because I mean, having no attacks from the Sons of the Harpy, and just the general peace amongst the city is huge, especially for Marine, who's been in constant chaos. And as they said, Varys said, he was like, we're on the brink of civil war. But they're also not in a position to be able to put their hands in their pockets and sit back and relax. Now it's like, okay, we got the first steps down, but now we need to create like this idolite. It's kind of funny, when he was talking to the red woman and she was saying, you need her to be worshipped and obeyed. You want, when she leaves, the people under her that take care of the cities to be worshipped and obeyed. He's like, I'll just settle for obeyed. But he's also talking about how we need to boast her up. And so it's like, it almost is like, well, you kind of want her to be worshipped in a way.
Yeah, I think it's just, I get what you're saying, but I think it's more as like, let's not make her be worshipped in a way that would require her to do something crazy or something like that.
Yeah, I get where you're coming
like,
from.
as long as she's obeyed, that's good enough for now.
Obeyed is the baseline. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, you gotta, the easiest way, if you don't have the people on your side in the city, then it's impossible to rule, and it's impossible. You don't get respect. I mean, we see it with freaking Cersei. She has no respect. She goes to talk to people. They don't respect her for shit. They talk shit behind her back, straight to her face, whatever the case is. So Danny needs to really get on that playing field of, all right, these people now see me as a leader. They respect me. What I say goes, and they're gonna be willing to follow me, and they trust me. Building that level of trust is a huge key factor, and also maintaining your rule over them. I'm curious to see what she says when she gets back. Or, I don't even know how far. God, I wonder how far she is from even being back, because I don't know how far the Dothraki sacred city is from Marine.
Well, on the
It's
map,
gotta be a hike.
it's not crazy far, but
Yeah.
like, if you come down to a human scale, yeah, it's definitely
it's a hike. Like, so, and what are they gonna say when she comes back with all these Dothraki? Like, because that's the other thing. Tyrion's boosting her up right now, but I don't know how pleased people are going to be when they see this giant following of Dothraki coming to the city of Marine. Even I'm from like Tyrion and Grey Worm and Missandei, they might be like, "What are you doing? Where did the like? Why are you bringing these Dothraki
Yeah, that
unsullied?
might.
What are the unsullied gonna say? Considering we know the
Yeah, that might
history
have.
of that battle with them."
Yeah, that might affect things. We'll have to see how all that plays out. I'm glad you brought that up, the whole Dothraki situation. But speaking of what she says goes, she told Jorah to go, and now he's going. And what are your thoughts about the fact that this grayscale's getting bigger, and it's taking over his whole arm at this point, and he's off who knows where to find a cure.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on his journey? How that might play out? Where do you think he might be headed? What's your thoughts on that situation?
Yeah, hard to tell, honestly, in my opinion, where he could be headed because we already know that there
Well,
is
let me
there.
ask you this: do you think he will or will not find a cure?
Mm, I I would my optimism says yes, but reality also is in me. And after understanding Stannis's daughter's situation with the grayscale and how hard it was for them to find a cure to get it cured in the first place, he's it's a needle in a haystack, man. Like he's got I like you know I don't even know where you would start to look in the first place. I mean, I, I guess what's like is there a major city near like where because the grayscale men were what in like Valyria, old Valyria, or whatever it was.
Yeah, the old Valeria. I'm pretty sure. There might be a name for this city, but
Okay.
I think old Valeria is a good way to put
My
it. We
first
could be wrong. Just leave a comment down below.
look, if I was gonna search for a cure, I would search for I would go to like the largest city that's near that one because that's where all the grayscale men are. So I would imagine that they would be the having the closest encounters. Thus, they probably are the only ones really ever working on that type of cure. Because how much would grayscale really affect people all the way in King's Landing? Like unless they go all the way out to Valyria, to old Valyria, and then come back. They're probably never really running into grayscale. So it's like I guess go somewhere where there's people that might be doing the research around the actual centering of like the the issue itself. I mean, I don't know. I I don't know. We like I said, we don't really know much about the cure, what they did for Stannis' daughter. All we know is there was a lot of people working on it. They got it, and it doesn't go away. It just stops from spreading, basically. So I guess we'll
Well,
see.
yeah, we'll have to find out. Speaking of something we don't know much about, or at least didn't know much about, was a couple things. We didn't know how the Night King became the Night King, and it
Yeah.
looks like that what happened was um the children of the forest created the White Walkers
Yeah.
and stabbed one of the first men. They needed it for the war they were in, but it totally didn't look good. Totally didn't work out. And now we have this army that is trying to get at Bran right now. What do you think the Night King wants with Bran? What do you think all that is about? And we'll talk more about what happened with Hodor last, but what are your thoughts about the whole Night King reveal? Basically, we got his name, we
Yeah.
got to see his creation, and the beginning of the White Walkers. And what are your thoughts about what his goal is right now, coming for Bran?
Yeah, it was interesting when, Bran went into that to that flashback type moment and, he walks
And
through the
and he
army.
did kill the three-eyed raven as well. So
Yeah.
include that into your
It
discussion.
was interesting seeing him go into that like flashback moment walking through the army of the undead. And it was clear that the army of the undead like were paying no mind to him, like or like they couldn't see him, it seemed like. And then the Night King could. So that was like very interesting, especially because once the Night
Well, they
King
all
focused on
eventually did look at
that's
him.
what I was gonna say. Once the Night King started focusing on him, now it was like they all. So, what is the Night King's capabilities that he's able to? Does he have a connection? Is it because of the fact that he was created by the children of the Force that he's able to see Bran? Like, what does he want with Bran? I mean, we saw, like the Three-Eyed Raven said, he wouldn't have even been able to get inside of that cave, but because he marked Bran, he was able to, if you remember, because he said he touch you, and he goes, he touched you, he can get in now, because Bran's like, he can't get in. So it's interesting that there was like restrictions from that cave. Like there was almost like a force field or a magical shield of some sort, but it got broken because the Night King touched. His powers are freaking. We're unraveling his abilities and stuff slowly in weird.
And by the way, guys,
pieces.
Sorry if I spoiled that the guy that the Children of the Forest stabbed was the Night King. I don't think that there is anything else that reveals that. I thought that was the implication in this episode. So again, I'm really sorry if there is something later down the line that reveals that guy was the Night King, but I'm pretty sure that was the implication of this episode. Again, I could be wrong. Sorry if I spoiled that for Zay, but yeah, Zay does now know that guy was the Night King. I don't think there's any more information to get on that other than knowing that guy who played that character who got stabbed, that actor also plays the Night King. So it's like,
it's
but again,
either
I apologize.
Or you don't.
Right. But yes, that was the Night King.
It's interesting too that they were created by the children, but yet they clearly after the war they didn't follow the directions of the children. I imagine it seemed like they didn't really give a shit. It was like once he got created, he was like, well, fuck this. So it's almost like, does he harbor ill will against the children because they made him into that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like for some, I don't know, or like, because technically he was a first man, right? You said it was a first man that got turned. Yeah. So it's like they created him. You would have thought that the children would be able to control them, I guess, more in a sense, but they can't. It's clearly free will. I'm guessing. I'm trying to think, like, why would he want? It seems he wants to eliminate Bran because he eliminated the Three-Eyed Raven. You would have thought if like there was some sort of power in just like having Bran or having these wargs in possession, he would have just captured the Three-Eyed Raven or something along those lines. But he straight murked him, and it seemed like they were coming to kill Bran. Like it seemed like that was the intention because he was just sending his army of the undead after Bran. So is there more capabilities that we don't know about the warg that could, spell trouble for the Night King and his army? It must be something he knows that we don't yet. I mean, we know that Bran has to become the Three-Eyed Raven, or it was his turn to become who the Three-Eyed Raven was. But we also don't know really the full extent of his powers as well. We've only seen him bring Bran into flashbacks and show him different flashback scenes and such. But I mean, I guess we'll see if there's more to warging and more to Bran's abilities.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Speaking of more to warging and Bran's abilities, we saw Bran warg into Hodor while Bran was still in the past, which also affected the past version of Hodor. Willis. And some kind of, with her screaming, hold the door, it went into Bran's mind, which went into the past, which went into Hodor in the past, which affected his entire future. It caused him to have a seizure. It gave him this phrase, Hodor. I mean, this was his, you could argue it was his destiny this whole entire time, was to stop them, to stop that door from being broken down. And I'll tell you right now, that scene, I remember, so we're at the seasons where I was watching this as I think seasons 1 through 4 was already out when I first discovered the show. So these are all episodes that I watched, when they came out. This one shook the nation. Like there was so many tweets about Hodor and hold the door, and so many people were brokenhearted about that situation. But it was definitely a wild reveal where we got to kind of understand what Hodor means. So what are your thoughts about that whole situation and how that is almost like this time loop destiny kind of thing? And
that was just going to say That I was just gonna say that it really, after our conversation in the previous episodes, when we've been talking about the flashback with Bran yelling and his father looking back, and I was saying how it seemed like it was contradicting, and then you said, well, what if it was a possible infinite loop? And this did kind of push me towards that, because for that to even, how else, I mean, to me, I was like, how else could you fucking explain that, right? Like,
You would
there's
need the future
you
for the
would need
past, but
you
you would
need the
need the
future
past for the
pre-written, so
future.
it's your destiny, which makes it sad when I know that some of these characters died, and I'm like, that was their destiny, maybe.
Well, hey, well, let
Like,
me ask you this: it's like, if okay, so we have some kind um of idea of destiny, right? In this show,
yeah,
we see how there's definitely the stage has already been written. So how do you think that affects other things like prophecies that we've heard and whatnot? Do you think there's more merit to them, or do you think that because we've seen several different people as of now be the one, right? But
right.
obviously, if there's only one, then somebody's not right, or they're all not right, or the prophecy doesn't, it's all bullshit. Like, so what do you think about that whole situation with Hodor and how that might affect other aspects of the show in terms of destiny?
Well, yeah, now it's totally something to keep in mind when you hear, especially people like the Red Women, talk about destiny and like this prophecy, and they talk about looking into the flames, and this is like, they see this occurring, because it's like, okay, well, yeah, I think it certainly does add more merit. Um, and just to, because I want to just make sure too, Bran, we've seen Bran before kind of see into the future, like have these prophecies as well, hasn't he?
He's
To
had
in some extent,
visions.
visions. Okay, so what's interesting, well, I just wanted to call back too with the Night King, like that could also be a threat to him, because if he has these visions, and like, what if he sees a vision of, like, I don't know, like the Night King is going to attack them from this area or something. You know what I'm saying? It could cause an issue for the Night King trying to attack the wall and such. Just something to
Then,
keep
but
in,
then
I guess,
then like
to keep in mind.
a nine head would be like, who cares, right? If it's all written, if Bran can only see it, like, who,
But
you know what I'm saying?
but
Like, the
then my only thing is that if you can see these and you can start to trust these visions that you see, is there a chance that you're able to alter the course of it by, if he knows that the Night King is going to attack Castle Black on this day at this time? Okay, well, what if he's able to convince all the armies, in the south, that this is going to happen, and the military, that force that would have been there, isn't nearly as large? Or it's pre-written, and you know what, the destiny was written that Bran was gonna do that and try. Yeah, it's like it starts to fucking,
yeah.
it goes and goes. So it adds merit to the prophecies for sure, and it makes it interesting. As now, I guess that's the question now: if you know that these prophecies may come true, or that there's merit to them, can you alter reality, or is reality already written in that sense where it's expected that you're going to try to alter it, and that is what you're seeing? You know what I mean? If
Right,
that
and
makes sense.
how much of these visions or prophecies, how much of this is literal and how much is figurative? I mean, I can already
Yeah.
tell you, Bran had a dream of the waves crashing onto Winterfell, but it turns out that that was figurative for the
Yeah.
Ironborn taking over Winterfell. Do you get
Right.
what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
not
So
everything that he
it's
sees is
not always literal.
necessarily right. He saw Ned like in the crypts or something, but in reality, Ned
It
was
was
decapitated
tated
and
and
his bones was sent to Catelyn and whatnot. But
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be
and
interesting.
we
And
see the Red Woman and her interpretations. Oh, I saw this in the fire, that in the fire, but it doesn't. It all seems to be more interpretative, and how some might
mhm.
be literal, some might be figurative. It's very wishy washy in those
It'd be
aspects.
interesting to see Bran get one of his visions and then hear a prophecy from the Red Woman, and they're aligned. That would be very interesting. Like if they both saw like something like extremely similar or like identical, because that'd also be pretty scary, because that's like, oh shit, like that's probably happening, whatever the case may be. But yeah, I mean, and God, he's in a bad situation too. They're stuck in the middle of a storm that follows the fucking Night King and everything, that
Only
winter
thing keeping
storm.
them safe right now is Hodor, and he's
Literally Hodor.
holding the door.
Man, that was so sad. That was so
Yeah,
crazy.
that was brutal.
And a crazy way for them to tie it in to understand why he only says, Hodor. And I was like, holy shit. It was really, really
Yeah,
cool though. That was a
I'm
really, really
watching.
different.
I'm watching this whole series with you, and every time you'd be like, "Oh, Hodor, Hodor." I'm like, "Oh, it's gonna fucking hit him like a brick when he finds out."
You're not a Pokemon, man. You're you're a saint.
But now you get it. Now you get
You're
it.
legendary, if anything.
All right. Well, with that being said, if you guys liked what you were watching, make sure you leave a like down below. Subscribe to stay tuned for more. If you're not already, you can hit that bell notification button to be notified the next time we upload a new video. And if you want to watch our full-length reaction to this and the next 6 episodes, you can check that out all out on Patreon. With that being said, Zay, I know you have a Twitch.
Yes, I do, guys. Come check out my Twitch. It'll be linked down in the description below. Feel free to stop by. Stream Sunday through Friday. Usually start streaming around like 11-ish most of the time. I'll be on there for a few hours, so stop by, say hi. No spoilers, of course. And yeah, hop in the chat, say what's up, ask me questions. And Cam, I know you have a Twitch as well.
Yep, just your average Cam. Link for that is in the description. Check it out if you want. But with that being said, also, if you guys want to donate, we have a donate link. We've had some people come to our Patreon and leave just because they wanted to donate some money. They didn't want to be subscribed the whole time, and that's completely fine. If you want to do something like that, we decided to make it a little bit easier for you. There's a donation link down below. You can submit a question or a statement as long as it's appropriate. We'll read it in a video. You don't have to. You can if you want. We appreciate you guys being here, just being here. So thank you again, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.